Okay, this is video 3, week 3. We're looking again in Max Lucado's book. We're in chapter 3, God's Gift to the World. And so as we look at this time we're going to talk about the lineage of David. Because in his Bible study, he mentions a bunch of names. And if you don't know the background of these names, oh my, you're missing out on a lot of information. I might have to make this video different parts as well, but we'll see how we do. So the lineage of David, again, it's showing that Jesus fulfilled the prophecy. And here's some of the names in Jesus's family, if you want to say, or his heritage, that Max Lucado mentions. But again, there's many more. And so we're just going to go through a few of them and give you the highlights of their life. So we have Abraham. Abraham was known as the father of many nations. He had a wife named Sarah. And Sarah was barren for many years. God sent an angel and they told her, hey, you're going to have a son. And how can I have a son when I'm over 90 years old? But she did, and they named him Isaac. Now, I could tell you much more of that story. It's a very interesting story. And again, you can find that story in the book of Genesis. But here's what Max Lucado mentioned. He mentions Abraham telling a lie. And he did. And we do that too, right? But Abraham, there was a famine. And so Abraham took Sarah and all of his belongings and his animals and everything. And he journeyed to where there was food. Well, guess what? He went, as he was journeying through the land, he came upon Pharaoh, and he told Sarah, tell Pharaoh that you're my sister. And you know what? That was a half-truth because she was his half-sister. But he did that because he knew if it was his sister, Pharaoh would take Sarah in, and he would treat Abraham nice and Sarah nice, and he wouldn't kill them to take all their belongings. That he wasn't trusting God at that moment to take care of him. And so God intervened and sent a plague upon Pharaoh. Bad things are happening. And so Pharaoh comes and says, what are you doing to me? What is going on? And Abraham confessed, this is my wife. And so Pharaoh didn't want to touch him. So he sent Sarah and Abraham and all of his belongings, go away from here, go somewhere else. And he didn't bother him. So that's the first name that is in Jesus's family that Max Lucado mentioned. Another one he mentions is Jacob. Now, Jacob's father was Isaac. Isaac was the son of Abraham, the little short story I just told you. And there's lots of interesting things about Isaac, like God asked Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, but God intervened and provided a sacrifice, and that you need to read and learn about that. But anyway, Isaac had a brother named Esau. Their mom was named Rachel. Rachel liked Jacob, and Isaac loved Esau. Esau was a man's man. He was out in the woods, and he was hairy and big. And Jacob stayed in the house all the time and helped his mother. Long story short, leaving out lots of details, Jacob, with the help of his mom, put animal hair on himself. And Isaac was old, and he knew he was about to die, and he couldn't see. And so then what they did is he came to his father and pretended to be Esau and asked his father to bless him. And so Isaac accidentally blessed the wrong son, because they always bless the older. And so anyway, Jacob stole Esau's birthright. And so anyway, you'll have to read about that. Then we have Judah. And his father was Jacob. So Jacob had a son named Judah. And here's what Judah did. Judah had a son. And his son was I guess that's how you pronounce it, E-R. And was very evil. So God took him. And then the tradition was that if there was the next son in line would take care of his wife and take her in as his wife. Well, that was Omar, and Omar did not want to have Tamar. And so he didn't want to have any children by her. He didn't want to help her in any way. And then, so even though she was given as his wife, the Bible says he would put his seed on the ground so she would not conceive. Well, there's a third son, but he was very, very young. And Tamar would have been very old in age when she had him, but they told her to wait for him. In the meantime, Judah's wife died. And so Judah, after, mourning and everything, he decided to go out in the town. Well, Tamar, she changed herself, and she put on clothes like a prostitute might wear. But she went out to the town, and she met Judah. And she was all covered up. He didn't know who she was. And he had sex with her. Well, she had asked him, to give him his staff, and it had his seal on it. And so he did. And then he went home. And then she changed clothes again, and she went home. And he never knew that he had laid with his daughter-in-law. Well, of course, about 3 months later, things happen, and they find out she's pregnant. So they're going to kill her, but then she brings the staff out. And then Judah's sin and Tamar's trickery is found out. So, of course, she wasn't killed. So we're going to stop here and go to another part.